I knew you'd show up. Hey, this is Wednesday, September 1st, and I'm John Zidar. On behalf of PB Alerts, giving you the alert you want, but the training that you need, these are my Momo plays. Momo is short for momentum. I'm basically just looking for stocks that ended today on a surge. They were growing, there's green, the techs are up, it looks good. And the only reason it stopped growing was the bell went off. And we expect that when the bell goes off tomorrow morning, it's going to continue to grow. Like watching a movie and someone throws a baseball and you hit the pause button and that just freezes in midair. Hit the pause button tomorrow morning and it takes back off. The reason we only play the OTC market primarily is because of the pre-market aftermarket activity. So that's why I play OTC market stocks in these sort of plays. Now, why do I do these plays? This is basically a risky play. Some call it a falling knife. Well, I'll be honest, folks. I lost my income during COVID, and I need an income. So I day trade for it. And this play is a 30-minute play, first thing in the morning, that has a 8 out of 10 probability of making me money doing it the way I do it. Now, of course, it is risky. So I've had to cut the risk off, try to round them corners off a little bit. So I've got 3 rules that I follow to keep risk at bay. Rule number 1, if this starts to fall at any time, get out. Recognizing the difference between a dip and a fall. Now, I'm not saying watch it fall. You can tell by all your technicals and your SMAs, when everything takes a turn, it's falling. Get out, folks. Dive out. Something's going wrong. This isn't the right stock. We're playing leftover momentum. If it's going the other direction, the momentum got lost somewhere. Save your money, save your assets, and get out. We'll try again tomorrow. The second rule that I get out on is when I make the profit I'm shooting for. Now, I shoot for 20%. I've got $500 that I play daily. 20% will give me $100. When the bell goes off, the first 3 minutes are volatile. You can see some humongous bounces well over 100%. But as fast as they go up, they come down. So, my mark is 20. I'm not watching the bid. I'm watching that bar. I'm watching the percentage. When I see it jump 50, 60, 70, I don't know, maybe it is going to go to 150. It's going to fall fast. So as soon as I see it, I hit my sell button. And that means I'm prepared. As soon as you buy your stock in this play, folks, set up your sell. Get everything right so all you have to do is hit the button when you choose to. It's got to be fast, like a quick draw in the wild, wild west. I do not exaggerate. So, when I see it climbing, I jump out. If it said 70%, I'm out. I look, oh, I only made 49%. Is that a bad thing? I was shooting for 20. And this happens the first 3 minutes, so you've got to be quick on the draw. And the last and final reason I get out, if I didn't get out for the first 2 reasons, I am absolutely out for the third reason. 10:05 in the morning, I exit. I don't care what the stock is doing. It could look like it's going to reach the moon. I'm out. This is my guaranteed paycheck every month. I have to play by the rules or something can go wrong that I'm not prepared for. So 10:05, I get out. Now, why did I choose that time? I have noticed there's a term. Maybe you've heard it before. Fool's hour. That is usually referring to the first hour of the day from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. Now, they don't call it that because you're a fool to try to trade during that period. They call it that because you can easily be fooled. What looks like is happening to a stock the first hour changes the second. Well, it's not an hour anymore. It's a half hour. I've seen the change. And at 10 o'clock, the stocks hesitate and decide, are they going to go sideways, up, or down? And I don't hang around for that decision. I'm out. I need 20 paydays a month to get me a paycheck. Every day, I try to make a little bit of money in the first half hour of the day so that I can relax and know that I'm going to have a home to live in at the end of the month. The rest of the day is mine to trade, play golf, watch movies, do whatever I need to do. So we make a list every day. We do a search. We generate this list based on the setup of looking strong, and then we watch it the next morning. When the morning kicks off, we watch to see what goes up there and dive into one. You can dive in early. If you've done some DD, you found that on our list was a stock that had a filing coming out today or just had news that came out at 3:30 in the afternoon and you expect it to continue running, well, put your money on that one before the bell. But if it's at 06, you've got to put in your bid at 064, something like that, because the market is going to start selling the shares that were left over from yesterday. And those are going to push the price up at the beginning of the day. And you want your price higher so that as the price rises, it meets you. And worse come to worse, if it stops down here, they will give you the shares at that lowest price. So you got to put your price in higher and let the price run into you and quit chasing the price. If you miss your entry, chances are you've missed a play for the day. Not necessarily though. You're going to see some stocks today that had some bounces. In the first minute they fell and then picked up their steam, which isn't the way I like to play it. But you can watch and learn. So let's jump into this. We'll look at our stocks we played for today, and then it's like 11:30 in the morning right now, so I'm jumping into it early. And then we'll come back and we'll do a search for stocks we're going to play tomorrow. However, I got to tell you folks, this is a rough day. By 10 in the morning, there were only 1,000 trades on the entire OTC market. I'm not lying. That is slow. So let's jump into our list from yesterday and see how we did this morning. So the charts that you see me use come from Thinkorswim. It's a platform that comes from TD Ameritrade, and it's absolutely free if you just sign up for an account, which too is absolutely free. You can't buy it, lease it, or rent it. You can't download it and hack it from somewhere. You just have to sign up with TD, and you can do so much with these. It's a lot, but it is very, very helpful. All right. We're going to take a look here at the list of stocks that we had generated yesterday, and it was a hard day to find surging stocks at the end of the day. It was really difficult. But this was the list we came up with, and we had 6 of them. I got the first one up over here. This side, this chart is set up on 1 minute, which is what I look at when the morning starts. I want to see every blip going up. In the evenings, though, we look at it on the 5 minute. And I only look at the last 2. Now, of course, other things are taken into consideration, like if it's been on a downtrend forever or something, but that's primarily all we do. So, looking at this one, backing out again, you can see that yesterday it had a lot of growth and ended strong. At the end of the day, it still had volume coming through, and that growth was steady. That's what impressed me the most yesterday. The MACD had been growing for more than half a day. The RSI had been growing and was just tipping off into the 70s. So I was sold on it. We thought this should continue climbing. And as you can see by that 200, the purple showing down and the blue showing up, it was definitely in that right direction already. We just wanted it to continue, which it did. However, in the very first minute of the day, she dropped. This is where a red bar opens, is at the top. That's where it opens. So she opened at 053. The bottom of a red bar is where it closes. Exactly the opposite for a green bar. So she closed down here at 05. Well, the day before she closed at 0526. So obviously this wasn't going to show up at the top of our charts. Was not going to be one of our MOMO. The 200 SMA shows it was coming down, started coming up yesterday, and was halfway. I mean, you could see it was going to continue, so we bet that this is what was going to happen. And it did, but not exactly the way we anticipated. You can see right here, the very first bar in the morning fell. The top of the red bars is where it opens. So the price opened up at 053. The bottom of the red bar is where the price ended at the end of that minute. So it ended at 0505. So we would not have seen this on the chart. It would not have come up on our list, so we wouldn't have jumped into this. So it was not a good MOMO play. However, we were correct. We do see that it was on an uphill trend. So this is one of those plays that are called bounce backs. There are many people that wait for that first dip in the morning and then jump in when they have two confirmations, when it shows it's going back up for 2 time periods, 2 bars. After that, you jump in, which just happens to be right about at where it opened up. And you would have caught this bounce. Now, speaking of that bounce, what time did it hit this high? It hit that high at 6 minutes after the bell, and it was done. So that was a short, quick play. All right, the next one on our list is AMLH. The 5-minute view for this, let's see, not been a lot going on here. Goodness gracious, this is tough to see. Let me pull our list out of the way here. Okay, she had a big bounce of power yesterday. She came from the bottom, jumped up to the top, and stayed up there. The MACD was looking very strong, and the RSI had made a solid double jump right up to under 70. So, considering we didn't have a lot to choose from yesterday, this got put on the list. It did jump. Immediately, it jumped from here to there, which is only about 12%. It dropped and then fell underneath the price. This moved so quick. This was a dangerous play. But I didn't truly like the way it was set up, but it didn't pay anybody any money today. And if you got in, you probably got out down here, hopefully not down here. All right, not a good one for us. These are moving around on me. Okay, this is Nwgc. Nwgc. This one excited me yesterday. It had a ton of volume at the end of the day. The MACD had grown very strong and the RSI came up quickly. It ended banging its ceiling here, which isn't something I prefer to see. You could see the volume was tapering off. It was getting tired of banging its head, but we threw it up in the list anyways. Another one of them bouncers. As soon as it opened up, it opened right at the price. So had you gotten in this one before the bell at any high price, you'd have gotten this. It would have jumped and you would have panicked. And according to my Momo rules, you would have got out if it's falling. And that's a fall. That doesn't look like a dip to me. That's a fall. This is a dip. That's a fall. But if you were a little slow or a little hesitant, it would have bounced back and you would have made just about 10%, 12% there. Not a big gain, but it was a slow day. All right, moving on to the next one. Tggi. Now, Tggi has been growing steadily, and I really couldn't find any news except that the merger between the $6 billion Chinese wine company with this 0.006 Tggi penny stock, sub-penny, there's going to be a big surge. The two are merging together because the same CEO owns Tggi and this big multi-billion-dollar Chinese winery, and they want to sell that stock in America. So it has been jumping a lot, though I couldn't find any recent news. So we saw that jump, 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 and the end of the day was quite strong. Look at all that volume that came in. You had a couple big jumps, and then it went sideways. One more time, it did it again. We had that initial drop. Right from the beginning, you could have bought it cheap and probably on the Momo rules would have jumped out down here. But this is 1 minute. And I got to tell you, if you are putting in your order, the order's taking, you're verifying the order, then you got to set up your sell and push the button all within 1 minute. Chances are it's not happening. It just isn't, all that isn't getting done in 60 seconds. So chances are, if you got into this one, I bet you got lucky because it fell. You couldn't get your order in time to sell and it started coming up and you said, oh, thank God, thank God. So you rode this up and it hit its high here of 0068 at what time? That is 4 minutes after 10. There you go. Just between 10 and 10:05, it hit its high and started to fall. So this would have been a difficult play. If you got in, you probably got lucky. Chances are, though, if you were watching the list, it never came up. So you didn't jump into this one. The next one was PCLI. She hasn't had a lot of activity today at all. This was yesterday's end. She ended real high. She had been low all day, came up high. Volume was a little there. The MACD was growing, the RSI was growing, but took a dip. However, looking here, you can see that it had gone up. So we took that one. Probably wasn't the best choice in the world. And you can see it opened up on the same price and then took a dip. And that's all she's had today. That is all she's had. So unless you decided to get into this before market, you wouldn't have got into this at the bell because it never showed up at the top of our list. And the last one we're looking at is Cat TV. Cat TV ended yesterday real high. You can see up there she jumped up with no volume. I remember she had very little volume here and jumped clear up here, and well, she just fell. Just took a tumble from the very start, so this never showed up on our list today. So there weren't a lot of winners today. Most of them were bounce backs or just drops. So not impressed, but then I'm not impressed with the market. You can't expect stocks to do well if the market's not doing well. All right, let's go do a search for runners for tomorrow, and I think we're going to have to look at red today as well as green. We've been only looking at positive gainers each day, which does not infer reds can't finish the day strong even though they had a bad day. They could still be surging strong. So we're going to look at those today since we aren't finding a whole lot of great ones in the green. All right, so the back half of the day now, we are going to go searching to find runners that we can play for tomorrow. I've already set a bunch of stuff up. I've actually done some tweaking here so that we can get the most out of this episode. I have found that if I put in a price of 001, which is where I like to be, up to 50 cents, which is maybe where you like to be, I can get the double search. It splits the search in half, but it will overlap the alphabet if I'm not careful, and it gets real messy. So I found this gets from Z to K and A to L. That's the whole alphabet. And another thing, let's go ahead and click the reds as well. Let's just go through that. I'll move a little quicker. Our eyes will have to dart. If you see something that I missed, you can pause it. Go ahead and leave a comment. I love to see things that I missed. Not really. Now, what are we looking for? All right, I got one here all set up so that you can see what it is when we're scanning, what we're looking for to put in our list for tomorrow. This, I want green. Now, basically, to be totally honest, I'm really only looking at these last two. But anything beyond that looks great is great. But I am normally looking just at those last two. We want volume, and particularly strong volume at the end of the day. The very last 5 minutes, I want to know where their heads are at because that 5 minutes drags over to the next day's 5 minutes. This is pushing a lot up. Price is going up. It looks brilliant. Our MACD is just doing a full launch, isn't it? It is pushing up, and you can even see here it is starting to go, I love this word, parabolic. That's beautiful growth. And look at the RSI. The RSI is completely red, above 70. This particular RSI is up to 95. This is fire, folks. Flame, and it is hot. This is showing velocity in price change. This is showing velocity in volume of shares being moved. And this shows the price going up. And everything is perfect. So basically we're looking for red, blue, and green. Pretty easy. Or you can look at it as tree, water, and fire. You might be a naturalist. I want to meet up with anybody in the middle. So that's what we're looking for. Now this happens to be on the list. You can see this is the search I did today. So this is going on our list right now. You like it? Look good? Good. I like it too. That's a hot one. I mean, this is primo. That's exactly what you want to see. And what's really exciting about this is that it has been going flat. Just for curiosity's sake, let's take a bigger look at this. All right, she was flat through the day. and had been down here. So she's been climbing. Well, now that's a 1 minute. Let's get a real look at this. There's 5 days. How about a 20-day picture? Well, there's a big picture. What's a big picture worth? It's worth a lot, folks. So this had been climbing. We could even get a bigger picture, but obviously it lost something heavy here. Has been on a very strong downhill. You can see the 200, the purple line on the top, which holds the most data, has the most strength, is coming around for that swoop up. That's what we're looking for, is that swoop. And normally you will catch the price coming up before the swoop. So you got the 10 on the top, the 20 on the top on the 1 hour. The MACD has been climbing for a week, the RSI climbing for a week, and just now it has launched. So there could be more than just a surge tomorrow. For those of you not looking for a paycheck, watch this, read your charts. This may be a continuation. I noticed today we had a lot of continuations. Our little itty bitty bumps in the morning are dropping. We're getting out by 10. They're picking back up and moving. We are finding some strong momentum pushers. So if you are not a paycheck trader, use this list as momentum movers. It's been impressive. I've been liking what we see. And this has a very strong setup for recovery. A lot more than just a morning bump. Do your DD though. I don't know nothing about it. All right, let's get back to our list here. And I didn't even start at the top. Just wanted to give you an example there. So we are starting up here at, got to be more than that. Yes. All right, we are starting at, is that the highest volume? I'm surprised. I knew it was a low day. Wow. Okay, going from K to Z, the highest volume producer was 332 million. I'm used to seeing 1.2 billion on a slow day. I'm used to seeing 5 billion on a average day. Can you imagine a strong day? This was really slow today. Okay, we get what we get. Let's jump in there and see. So I'm only going to do the red and the green. And remember, we're looking for green up against the wall, a blue tsunami, and fire coming out of, hello, what we got here? Okay, I'm primarily focusing on that fire because without fire, nothing else really matters. If the RSI is not high, and I mean starting at 660, if it's not at least at 60 and working its way up, it's not worth looking at. It's sleeping. Am I going too fast for you? All I'm really looking at is right down here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that down tighter. We're looking in this square right there, believe it or not. I should actually magnify that so that you can see it closer with me. I can't see it close, but maybe I can magnify it so that you can. All right, now that one is getting up to 67. I see something there. Let's zoom in. We've got strong volume in the last 10 minutes. Boom, boom. Those are both my boxes covered. Volume increased in both my boxes. Look at this. The 200 on the bottom is just on the bottom of its swoop. Blue means it is turning up. Let's get a big picture there. What sort of swoop do we have on this? There's the 1 hour. Let's come down to the 5 so we can see this. So it's been doing some very big rolls. It's coming down, and it looks like it wants to start coming up. And you can see that it does ride sideways and bounce along that bottom where it's coming right now. MACD is up. RSI is up to 67. Not exactly fire, but it is got a lot of the ticks of the boxes. 1, 2, 3, and a half. So we're going to throw this one up there. All right, back to our scan. Let's see where we're at. KYNC we looked at yesterday. Wasn't doing a whole lot. We are looking at reds. I got to create a new habit here. You never know how a stock finishes the day. Could be way, way down, but was tearing it up the last half hour trying to get to the surface for air. You know, I was thinking, it's getting close. Now that's got a good rep going there. That definitely does have a climb. It's got aftermarket and pre-market activity. However, you can see it has been steady climbing. Hasn't got a 200. Lack of data for some reason, but we do. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm missing it, folks. 200. This looks good as a steady climber. This is SONM, just so you can get a bigger picture of it. That's been a week of growth there. I'll give you 2 weeks. 2 weeks of growth there, folks. Let's take a look at 3 weeks. All right, so you have 2 weeks of growth, and it looks to be just topping a high right now, don't it? Right there. So you may want to watch that line I just drew, somewhere right around there at 47 cents. If it breaks that, it may start to climb up. And one peekaboo out just to see a year where it was. So we're way down here, and it's been way up here. And this is over 1 year. This here happens to be February. Don't count that. This is the stimulus month. A lot of money got poured into the market from people getting free money, and they were just throwing at it, any stock trying to hit a home run. Outside of this aspect, though, we do see that it has momentum. Back to our scan. As I was saying, I was considering the concept of maybe having background music. And whenever it got boring, I could just start hitting that background music. All right. Not seeing anything here. It's hard for me. It'd be not, as a matter, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. It's nice because I got to keep darting my eyes up and down, and I'm getting seasick here. Oh, no, it's strong, but not anywhere near where we needed to be. Are you watching this spot right there? Well, of course you are. I got it magnified now, don't I? I better. I said I was going to do it, and this is going to be in the video, so guess I'm going to have to do it now. Oh, man. All right, that's the one we've already added. Doggone, I'd like to get another one like that. That was a, ask and you shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Ask. I like that. It's not a perfect setup. Now I want to see, is that a high bubble? Right there. It doesn't show up on this side of the screen, but it will show up over here. We got a high bubble. All right. The reason that's important to me, I got all my ticks here. I got volume, I got growth, but the green isn't up against the wall. This is an exception to the rule. If these two red weren't there, these two green would be, right? So why do I dismiss these two red? Because of that high bubble. Every high bubble I have met, every high bubble I have met has a pullback. There's something psychological in people's minds. All of us, most of us, when we see that high come up, it's like a ceiling, duck, and we pull back because we don't want to bump our head. And then when you realize, oh, that's not a real ceiling, you get back to it. So I anticipate a pullback every time I see it. So that is normal. That should be there. It hit a high, it pulled back. I think that's kind of nice. The pullback's out of the way. I'm expecting this to go out now. Just so I can get a bigger picture here, what does a 10-day look like? So she's been climbing here for 4 days, and now she's getting a swoop. You can see she's on a strong 200. Strong 200, and look at that volume, folks. My goodness. New hydrogen ink. Hydrogen's going to be king. It's going to take over the EV market. This is tearing it up on the 30-minute for bloody heck sure. So this is definitely going on our list. No about a doubt it. Absolutely, positively. All right, back to that scan. Money. That's a nice name. Too bad it's not living up to it. So back to this tiny little corner over here. Really, I mean, you can look at green, you can look at other things, but without that fire in that corner, I'm not interested. Everything else can look good, but if it's not cooking, what good is the meal? Who wants raw meat? Oh, man. Now, we got 2,000 shares here that I can fly through. Literally. Though I'm not going too slow right now. And what's our volume? Oh, we're down to 4 million. See, that's what happens when you start off at 300 million instead of 1 billion. So we're already at a critical level right now here, folks. It's going to be a short show because we're running out. And you see how many I've gone through. I'm not even looking. Actually, I'm hitting the whites too, aren't I? Yeah, because it's just easier to hit everyone than to think about which one I got to be hitting. Looking for that red. Do. I was hoping, the ask situation that I'd get it. Okay, nothing. Here's where that background music comes in. Hear it? Here it comes. That's not too bad, is it? Alright, enough of that. Alright. How do I play music and scroll the internet? This dude is awesome. Alright, we are down to 3 million shares. I'm not expecting anything here. I mean, you never know. Like I said, some of your biggest gainers are done with the least amount of shares. Unexplainable, a conundrum in my head, and it happens every single day. All right, I'm just going to hit, the bottom of this page. We are at 1,900,000 shares. All right, so now I come up here to descending and kick it up to ascending. So now we're going to be looking at the letter A through L, assorted by volume. Whew, thank God. We got 1,500,000,000 here at the top. And of course, you know what the bottom is. 0. No guesswork there. All right, let's jump into her. Let me focus my eyes. All right, here we go. HPIL, folks, she brought out, let me tell you here, since we got HPIL up, I expect this to jump tomorrow, folks. It doesn't show up here at all, but I'll tell you why. HPIL is a company that's dark and defunct. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't even tell you about it. You can't buy it. You can't buy it because it's dark and defunct. But this company, the highlight, I don't want to go over everything. The highlight is they got an electric car that never needs charging. Not been built yet, but they've got the science. They've actually done it. It works. Now they just want to build a car and, sell it. Well, this is a brand new company, only been in business 4 months, and he's got to get all the dirt and filth fixed up on HPIL's old management for 4 or 5 years. Then he can start business, and he's got quite a few things on the table. But think about that. An electric car that charges itself never, ever needs charging. Whoa, what's that worth? Matter of fact, he's actually said he's not even sure he'll be able to build the car because this technology, which they say, who's they? Science. Science says it's impossible. If it was possible, we'd have done it a long time ago. And he says, I'm telling you, we have a genius, literally a genius. He's in a special group that marks people who have very, very high IQs. And he invented it. And it works. And he doesn't think he's going to be able to make it to manufacturing of the car because some big, big company is going to come and buy him out and take it away from him. Either case, if you've got the stock, you're going to get the profit. So I've been holding this for a long time. It bounced up to a penny and fell down to half a penny. And this thing is, it's got some life to it. But the filings just came out today. We've been waiting for them for 4 months. I was excited to see them. Though the market took a jump, it has not responded the way I anticipate. But I made a Twitter comment, and a whole bunch of other people did too. So now they're going to start talking about it. Popcorn's going to happen on Twitter, and this is going to spread to Investor Hub and wherever else because there's a lot of people who want innovative products that are disruptive, that can tip over entire empires. Think about that. The electric companies won't make a penny off of any car on the street if they're using a self-charging car. You'll never need a gas station or a charging unit anywhere. You can go on and on here. Very, very disruptive. You have to be careful. His life could be in danger. It's too disruptive. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, back here. Had to take a break. My eyes were burning. All right. I see lots of stocks here, I know, but I don't see anything wanting to show and tell. This one has a little bit of potential going on there. It is shooting up. It's at 59, just about to hit my floor. Has some volume at the end of the day. Let's back up so we can get that in a better perspective. Oh, no, nothing spectacular. No, that kind of blends in. It should jump out at you, shouldn't it? Should jump out at you. If you have to jump in there digging around to find it, looking around and convincing yourself it's worth it, it ain't. That's the truth. You know, if I'm going to go through 2,000 stocks, I might as well just let the ones jump out at me. It's kind of like shopping for a gift. Half the time I don't know what it is I'm looking for. I just wait for something to jump out at me. Again, another one showing potential. It's right on my floor, 59. It has been growing for a few days, picking up momentum. The 200 SMA just picked up here. Just got into the game. This is AAGC. I don't know anything about these companies. I throw a ticker out there. It looks good on the chart. Looks like it's going to continue up. Go do your DD. It may be a find. Fire. No, I mean, I don't see it. I'm trying to beckon it. Trying to call it up. Sorry. Man, how many are we down to? We're at 47 million shares. I see a lot of red too. There are a lot of losers. And I haven't noticed, look up at the board. No, every one we have found today that is set up properly has been a green. Just living and learning, taking notice of details. We want to see what happens over and over again so that we can recognize it. All right, let me roll this down a bit. We're down to 25 million. There's CBDD again. We talked about CBD Denver yesterday. Wow, here's Allie. Allie is making an electric motorcycle, so they say. They've been telling us this for almost 3 years. They said that they're building a factory in Africa. I tried to find it. I could find no information on it whatsoever, and I tried hard. Gftx is showing some power. She's having a crossover right now. Now, let's back that out. It doesn't make sense. You can't see power close up. A punch in the face doesn't look strong unless you can back up and see the person flying from it. All right, so it's been climbing all day. This is all the way back at noon. So from noon, it did take a dip and it jumped fast. Looks like another jump. Well, look at that volume. That's in very, very strong volume. Strongest volume of the day. Yes, yes. The RSI is not in fire, but it has jumped from the boring 44. Holy cow. Under 50 is dangerous. So it came out of the dangerous into the powerful. So that's a strong move. And you have the MACD about to ready to have a crossover. And whenever that blue gets on top of the white, that's a power move. So everything looks very strong here. I'm going to throw this one up. We like that one. Okay, continuing down. Oh, that's why I got confused. KATX, AITX. I thought I saw AITX. Stare at this for a while and see what your eyes see. Ooh. Oh, there's a ski slope. There is one again that's done the same thing. All right, see, this is a sneaky play. I really don't like these. You can see the downhill slope. For 2 days, the 200, everything has been coming downhill. However, even though it's just careening downhill, you can see that the MACD is doing more of a sideways than anything else, but it's under the signal line. And it is now, just now, trying to get back. It did try here. You can see right there. But it had no chance. It broke it. It got through here, and it has broke the 200. That is very, very strong, which is bringing the 200 up in a strong way. Let me zoom in on that. So again, the RSI has been climbing slowly and then climbing quickly. Let's take a big picture of that. Big picture's worth 1,000 words. I want more than that. Let's get 20 days. Now that doesn't look all that great, honestly. We had a lot of growth and we took a dip. This is INQD, Indoor Harvest, a cannabis company. Having kept up with the current news, I can see that that change is very abrupt right there. You can see that is a straight bing, just like that. That's very abrupt. It changed, it made a decision and turned directions. But I'm not sure, looking at that, That's a wallop. I'll give you that. Now, there may have been news that came out at 3:30 in the afternoon, and only some people got to hear it, and somebody made a grand purchase, and pow, there it goes, and others will catch on in the morning. So, until I do my DD, I'm going to put this up here. Now that's the first red. Look at that, we got a red. Now that is what, more DD. When we get a list, then you go look at the news. And I may find something out, that says bad things about it, and I'll take it off my list. But we're going to be leaving it on there because the day will start tomorrow and we'll talk about it and see what goes on. All right, back to our scan. Herb, another cannabis company, doing nothing. But a lot did nothing today. You can go over to the OTC market and you can see how many trades there were today, how many shares sold today, how much money was sold on the OTC market today. That's where I get my information. That is reliable information. It's not a news site. It's a site backed by FINRA and the SEC. It's an authorized site. This is real strong. I like this. It has been coming down. Looks like it's about ready to curve up. Volume's been pretty steady, but you had a good pop here. It has already crossed the 200. The SMA, the 10 and the 20, and the 10 needed to get on top of the 20. It needed to, and it just did, just at the end of the day. RSI is at 66. Beautiful, beautiful, and about ready to crush into the 70s. I'm going to throw this up here. ILIS. I've heard something about ILIS recently here in the news. Can't remember what. Okay, that's another red one. And what are we down to here? We are at 13 million shares. GVSI, familiar with them. They're not doing too good. Though the RSI did a strong pop there. I can see that there was a big pop of strength there. Boom, boom. GVSI at the end of the day. It broke the price. Broke through the 200 and the 20. Though not the 10. Not yet. All right, coming down. I want to see some red down in that corner. I want one more real big glowing fireball. That's close. That doesn't look too bad. What do we got here? Gftx. Now it hasn't had a lot of volume, but I told you that. We're down at 10 million shares. I told you it's getting less and less. And popcorn volume, you just get a sale. This happened at 10 after 10. And the next one happened, okay. But I mean, there could be a bald spot. There could be a big empty spot, and there probably is in here. However, it started the day off really low and went up about 50%. And it ended on a high note. It is at 68 on the RSI. The thing that's scary with me is the volume, because a slow-moving vehicle can change direction so bloody quick that you get hit. And I don't want anybody getting hit. So you know what? I think that's going to be our list. If you are interested in this and you're not scared, it's Gftx. So we tried it a little differently. So hopefully I get this out even earlier today. They're better if you get to see them the night before rather at 10 o'clock at night. God knows. So I'll probably start doing these right after the bell. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I should release those because a couple of these are continuing. That's the big thing I have noticed here. The big gain is not in the first popper. Now, I'm trying to make a paycheck, so that is the play. But the ones I'm locating, the ones I'm using, have got so much momentum, power, and force that they're continuing right through the rest of the day, continuing climbing. And even some of them for 2 days. I've been seeing them in the back because I leave my chart markings all over them. I can see when we're going through. So if you're looking for good runners for days and days to come, look at the list we've just created. That bad boy may have something on it. You can't know too much, right? The more you know, the more you grow. See you, folks.